Blessings, beloved, and sending you so much love, coming to you from Lemuria in the island of Hawaii, and with so much beauty here. And I just wanted to share what has been coming up in our community and what I'm hearing. And as we're stepping in and we're moving into this incredible 1212 portal on Monday, and I've been working deeply with ancient teachings and ancient masteries and incredible ways of being that are now coming back into the planet and coming back into within you. And I have to ask you, where you are now, is that your ultimate goal? What do you envision for yourself? What is your dream life? What is your life that you see? And are you reaching that? Because what I see in so many beloveds is they see where they're going, they're getting downloads, and there's something blocking, something limiting, something in the way. And is that happening in your life? And I'm seeing a gap between, and I have gone through it too. I went from running a clothing business in that world to having 5 years of nothingness, as a lot of this was reintegrating and opening within me, and then to step into this new path, and I had no confidence, no clarity, and I didn't know what to do, and I would just do things for free, and I would just kind of hide behind it. I had got this really great singing bowl, and I just kind of hid behind the singing bowl, because then I didn't have to speak, and I could just, tell someone about the full moon, and that was it. And how amazing the difference between who I was running the clothing business to who I was when I was on my spiritual path and sharing my heart. And I wasn't used to that. And I didn't have the skills. And I didn't have the activations of all my codes. And I didn't have guidance, and I didn't have community. I was building community, I was making friends, I had conscious friends, but I didn't have community. And what I'm seeing is that is what is so needed. And as I work with, as we're opening up the Egyptian symbol of life, I don't know if you know, it's the tree of life symbol, it's the different encoded portals and spheric sacred geometry that goes from your crown to your root. And that is one of the base field elements. It's in your field already, it's in the human grid, and yet it's not fully activated. And it's the Ankh fits inside of that as well. And it has a central point, a central chant, has 3 pillars. And so there's teachers like Daxelos, who lived in Cyprus and who passed in the 90s, who had been in the court of Akhenaten and had been a priest in many lifetimes and brought this back in a way that was more modern. Moses had carried this symbol of life, and then it branched off into the Judaism, and then in the Kabbalah, and then into the Essenes, and also the Rosicrucians. And it's that grid work that accesses you to all your lifetimes of knowledge. It consolidates it into your field. And I feel this is so important. And and how it came into me was I ran across someone who was sharing it, and then 2 sisters mentioned it to me in emails, and it was just like amazing. And then as I started working with it and opening it and asking why now and why, and then Daxelos, who you can work with, you can call him in, he's this beautiful teacher energy in the higher realms. And he showed immediately, he was like, yes, we've worked together, and yes, we've been together, and we have a lot to do, and lay down, and we're going to lay this into your field, and then you're going to open the next level and your group. And so this is the base. So when we share about, gosh, I want to be here and I'm not yet, I want to give these offerings and I'm not doing that yet, I want to have the confidence and I don't have that yet, I can totally relate. I had none of that. I didn't know which way to go. And what I'm sharing with you is that I've done the path where I didn't know what I was doing and didn't know who to listen to. And I just kept listening to my intuition and listening to my guides, and it took longer. For who's sitting here in front of you now is for you to not have to have that length of time, for you to work into to open your highest divine purpose and walk it as your life, to wake up and move into your morning ritual and to work with your incredible, if you have clients or you have a community, work with this incredible activations of energy and have this beloved in your life and be paid for it and live wherever you want. I'm coming to you from Hawaii. I have the freedom. I live wherever I want to live. I've been traveling for 7 years, going to sacred sites because of following these code activations and following what was guided of me, working with the higher realms. It closed that gap for me of going from where I am now to where I want to be. It closed that gap of stepping into my highest destiny and my highest purpose, which is to activate the codes of humanity and to take you from where you are now to where you want to be. And that is the Ascended Mastery Code activations and the practical tools, yes. But every human has dormant and waiting to be activated cellular encoded activation and cellular encodements that when the right field and when in the right initiation, when in the right activated container, activates your codes and they come online and you move into a higher level. So you can go to a training and you can learn a manual and then you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, like what do I do? How many have you gone to a training or workshop and it's great information and you're ready to go and then you get back and it's like, oh, like maybe you can put a little bit of it, but you're not activated. You don't have that cellular in syncness. And so what that I found is that's the gap that's missing. And that was the gap that was missing in me. And I believe that by activating these cellular encodements that every human has and that you have, you can reach your vision and you can live that life and you can have that freedom and you can make as much money as you want if that's your goal. You can activate the planet. You can bring in the new golden age. You can give your gifts. You can be supported. And so what I see from when I recently worked with Daxelos in the higher realms, and he's opening up the symbol of life, the Egyptian codes, and oh, that's Wakani, that's the Hawaiian god of wind. When we speak truth, he talks and the wind increases. So that's truth. And thank you, Makani. The gods and goddesses of the sacred island are so amazing. And so working with these ancient writings of Daxelos, you can find it at teachersoftruth.org. His daughter, Panayotis, has carried on his work, as well as people like Robert Gilbert and different theologians and they're more of a scientific, where you'll get the more information on the symbol of life. And this is what we're doing on 12/12 in the temple, is we're opening up again the symbol of life, Egyptian creation codes that you see in the Ankh and that you see in the different sacred geometry, but we're taking it to the next level. So this is, I feel, is the beginning of us preparing for 2023, where this is what's in front of us and what you have I feel 2023 is a 7-year heaven coming to earth, is your ability to walk into your life, heaven on earth, having a real physical life of heaven on earth, with closing that gap of where the codes are opening within you and what the pillars are within you, because the pillars is code activation, practical knowledge, community, and connection with source. Those are the 4 pillars of closing that gap and getting to where you want to be, because that is why I'm here, is to have that. I wish I'd had community when I was running my clothing business, and I wish I'd had someone showing me the way to listen. I had to put tapes in my car and create new neural pathways, and when I didn't listen to the radio, I would listen to Abraham Hicks, or I'd listen to different modalities that would keep me in line and keep my neural pathways in line so that I would activate and step into my highest reality in that life and in that business and in that way of being. And I did. We grew every year. We never had a bad year. And I used universal laws. And so I perfected that in my life. And I can open that within this, and I open that within all things I do. But there's something when you share your personal, physical vulnerability and your heart in this spiritual path, and in the priestess path and the ascended mastery path as the creator and way shower of the new golden age, because you are so needed. And what I'm finding is that gap has been answered. And the solution is your code's activation and walking in an activated container of light. And that is what I see, and that is what I've seen results in our community, because what I've learned and what I didn't know it at the beginning, and I didn't have those abilities in the beginning. I still had my own limitations of confidence and clarity and not wanting to be visible. It's not my favorite place to be. And I had to work through that, and some scars I had in my field. You might have that too, and how the sisterhood is coming together again, the sacred sisters and brothers of the way showers and the creators of New Earth are opening this again. And the solution, what I found, is closing that gap and having the life that you want and living wherever you want to live and doing this dream work of activating people and sacred ritual and sacred ceremony on high days like we did when we lived in the temples together, is having the code activations, having the practical knowledge, not being opened by a container and then being where you have access or where you're exposed to darker or gray forces. That's happening a lot on the planet now in the spiritual world, but being in a container of light, connected to source, opening this new within you. And so I found that we have closed that gap. And what I'm seeing in our community is the results people are getting is because they're not only have practical skills when we do immersions and we do trainings, but they're also getting their codes activated, and they're getting their next level of activations and encodements as they rise and they meet when they have that new manual or that new way of being, their physical aura and their field and their cellular makeup, and the knowledge that's coming in is now downloading and matching this physical new practices that they've just learned. And so that is what I feel has closed the gap for me, and that is what we share in our community. And that is what I'm finding is a solution that I'm not seeing that much out there. I'm not seeing beloveds that have the results to show you that they're not only they have the results, but also there's beloveds in their community that do. And I have testimonial after testimonial of beloveds who have their psychological team is like, what happened? You don't even need us anymore. Beloveds that never spoke, never talked, I didn't know them. Now I see on my news feed with beautiful graphics and photos, and they're collaborating and meeting other beloveds in our community and walking with them and meeting friends and having connections where they have new events and new offerings and new ways of creating income so that they do what they love, live where they want to live, and get paid for it, and step into that frequency of closing that gap and stepping into where you want to be is then your life. And so I invite you to just visualize what that life would be like if you're living it now, or if you want to live it, where you wake up doing exactly what you want to do, exactly when you want to do it, being surrounded by people that love you, honor you, and are in alignment with you, where you have love all around you, where your relationships, professionally, spiritually, health-wise, money-wise, are all in alignment. And if that's the life you want to live, I invite you to join us. I invite you to walk with us and have the life that you've envisioned as your life now, and to close that gap and to go from where you are now to where you want to be. When I started my business with $100 in the clothing business, man, did I have some rough years and some rough times. I always grew, but man, it took a pound of flesh out of me because I had to learn it all on my own. But this is, you don't have to. We have processes, we have activations, we have connections, we have immersions, we have courses, and we have a community that are there for you to walk with you. And I wanted to share this, not only to share about what you can achieve by walking with Light Temple Collective membership, walking with Light Priestess Temple community, but also that every human has the codes within them to activate their next level, and it's being in the right containers and being within the Ascended Mastery Code activations that we offer is what takes you there to the next level. And that is what opens that vision to coming in and being that reality of when you wake up and that's the life you have. And I invite you to give me 12 months and to walk with us. Your life will be unrecognizable because I've done it, and we have the processes, and we have the community, and we have the frequencies and the connections for the taking you to where you want to be. Because as you activate to where you want to be and you have your soul breakthroughs, you share with your community and they have their soul breakthroughs, and you share with your community, and we activate the new golden world on earth. And that is why we are calling in the leaders, way showers, and creators to join with us and walk with us, learn more about us. And if you want to close that gap and step into the reality that you've envisioned for yourself and the life that you want to live as the priestess, the way shower, the creator, the initiator of the new golden age, I invite you to learn more about what we are doing and to walk with us and to take your sacred space within the circle in the inner sanctum of the temple and your sovereign birthright of activating your highest codes and living your divine purpose. And I send you so much love. And I just wanted to really share that because I'm hearing a lot from the beloveds in our community and online, and that they are so excited by what they've received, and the ones who are just entering, or we're hearing like, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm in this job, it's taking everything out of me, and I have these gifts and my offerings aren't quite landing, and I'm overwhelmed, and and that is the next level. This is your next level, and I invite you to open that with us and to walk with us and to learn more how you can close that gap and live in your highest destiny and your highest purpose and walk with the golden light that you are. And I send you so much love, and I invite you to walk with us, and I look forward to being with you and sharing sacred space with you and opening up this new year and this new golden life and this new highest frequency and activating your highest destiny with you as you live this life that you are. Much love.